What if I told you alien technology isn't alien anymore? Oftentimes, regular citizens spot something in the sky, or even at land or at sea, that's completely unbelievable. While some things just cannot be explained, others can be traced back to the government and just how secretive their missions have truly become. If these so-called alien technology are not only found, but also made on Earth, are they still really alien? In 2016, the United States Navy received a patent application for an inertial mass reduction device, similarly shaped to several unidentified flying objects, UFO, caught in more than one instance in the United States. In 2018, this patent application was published and is currently set to expire in 2036. Is the United States Navy developing alien technology based on these sightings? Are rumors true that China's already one step ahead of the United States in terms of this alien technology? In 2015, 5 United States Navy crewmen reported that they encountered unidentified objects off the east coast of the United States. 2 pilots went on the record and said that the surreal craft they encountered had performance that defies known propulsion and aerodynamic capabilities. While not much is said about the unidentified aircraft's physical description due to the distance and heights the craft has been seen in, they recollect that it was tic-tac shaped, oblong-like, that had rounded fronts and backs. They even went as far as describing these unidentified flying objects as something akin to special effects you would have seen in a sci-fi movie in the late 1980s. In a 2019 New York Times article, Lieutenant Ryan Graves, an FA-18 Super Hornet pilot for a decade, recalled that in 2014 and 2015, he would witness strange aircrafts appearing in their training space. What's interesting with these aircrafts is that they did not just appear for a second or a minute. They would appear for hours. Most surprisingly, these aircrafts would appear for about 12 hours or longer. Because of their speed and unusual travel path, they would have needed to refuel. But in this case, they were just in the sky for a prolonged period of time. Lieutenant Ryan Graves would continue to reveal that while fighter jets would often pick up pings on the radar, they would often ignore for false radar tracks, this specific aircraft was persistently present in the area. Graves claims that it would show up at 30,000 feet, and at 20,000 feet, and then at sea level. The unidentified object would accelerate, then slow down, then hit hypersonic speeds that wouldn't be possible with today's technology, unless it were extremely advanced yet hidden, or simply extraterrestrial technology. Normally, UFO sightings would be swept under the rug. However, this case is strange as any they've seen, as these reports came from the United States Navy itself. Second, the reports terrifyingly coincides with a UFO patent and other similar outlandish patents from Naval Air Warfare Center Aircraft Division, NAWCAD, aerospace engineer Salvatore Cesar Pais. The first patent of the bunch, the electromagnetic field generator, dating back to 2015, which coincides with the UFO sightings from the US Navy. Though these UFO sightings would only be reported in 2019, so Pais would have not known at this time what these reports were. Among the 4 patents, craft using an inertial mass reduction device is easily the most curious one, as it essentially details a full alien aircraft, unlike the other patents that were more like parts of a machine, such as a generator and a superconductor. The specific patent was applied for on April 28, 2016. Pais describes this craft as an inertial mass reduction device consisting of an inner resonant cavity wall, an outer resonant cavity, and microwave emitters. In addition to this, Pais claims that this craft is capable of maneuvering in air, water, or even space without leaving a trace of heat. The patent is classified under B64G1/409, Unconventional Spacecraft Propulsion Systems. In the patent, Pais claims that the craft is able to engineer the fabric of our reality at the most fundamental level by exploiting the laws of physics. The science behind this UFO patent is complicated and convoluted, with formulas for acceleration, angular frequency of vibration, and magnitude. But in essence, the craft is designed to use inner and outer resonant cavity walls to form a resonant cavity that, partnered with high-frequency electromagnetic waves created by microwave emitters, would create a local polarized vacuum outside the outer resonant cavity wall. This then allows the craft to travel at extreme speeds, regardless of the medium it travels. Theoretically, the polarized vacuum it forms around its outer layer repels any molecule, whether air or water molecules, that the craft interacts with. Because no molecule slows the craft from accelerating, lack of friction, this makes the aircraft able to travel at blazingly high speeds regardless of environment. This also allows the transition from traveling underwater to traveling on air to traveling to space interchangeably incredibly easy, like those observed by the Navy guards. The concept illustrations of the craft are also included in the patent, with the craft itself being roughly cone-shaped that would appear round from the front or rear. This would match the Navy Guards' reports of the unidentified flying object they observed being tic-tac-shaped. The concept illustration also details the specific components of the vehicle, which includes microwave emitters to create high-frequency electromagnetic waves, a resonant cavity filled with noble gases for the plasma phase transition, a cargo bay, a power plant system to power the vehicle, and a frustum that has the ability to rotate on its own axis. Just because something is patented doesn't mean we'll see it become a reality. The government sees patent applications from hundreds of companies daily, and only a handful of those patents ever come to fruition. Companies tend to file patent applications in the case that they actually want to pursue an idea and claim that product legally theirs. So they often do it in advance, often years ahead, in order to get ahead of competition. Of course, many of these patents will only remain as patents and never become actual products. And this might be the same with Pais UFO patent. While the chances of seeing this aircraft in actual development are very slim, the fact that it belongs to the US government, specifically the US Navy, may give it a higher chance of becoming an actual product. Initially, the application was rejected by patent examiner Philip Bonzel on the grounds that there is no such thing as a repulsive EM energy field. However, NOCAD's patent attorney, Mark O'Gutt, appealed the decision as he sees the possibility of the craft being actually constructed, and once done, can actually perform the functions detailed on its patent. Chief Technology Officer of the U.S. Naval Aviation Enterprise, Dr. James Sheehy, would then reconsider the decision towards the patent, and eventually would approve the patent. Sheehy also adds that China has already begun investigating this area. That's why the US should hold the patent, rather than paying royalties to use or construct this craft when it eventually becomes a possibility to do so. So what does this mean for Pais' UFO craft? In the off chance that it does get built before September 28, 2036, the US Navy will have the rights over the craft. It also protects the idea from being stolen by private companies or individuals, thanks to approval and publication of the patent. However, with the current technology we have, it's very unlikely that these situations would ever come to light, as it will most likely just sit and collect dust until we have the right technology for it. Until then, this idea will remain an idea. UFO technology, while terrifying due to its unknown properties, is undeniably out of this world. While there are multiple occurrences and evidence of UFOs that appear before us, we must also take into consideration if those vehicles are man-made, powered, and/or funded by our own government. To see alien technology is one thing, but to craft one is a whole other challenge. Pais did just that, even with limited knowledge of how the real alien technology actually works. Maybe one day, seeing tic-tac-shaped flying objects wouldn't be alien to us anymore. If the Navy or any government entity gets their patent granted, it can only mean that bigger and more important technology is coming down the road.